Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, it's being built as a lifestyle and world-class development. We have all the details on The Point.
Also ahead tonight, find out how you can help the Red Cross. And swimmer Ariana Vanderpool Wallace butterflies her way to the next level. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
A new resort for the Bay Street area is expected to create the ultimate downtown destination for tourists and locals. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks for joining us. Well, 2017 is the target date for the transformation of the British colonial Hilton Resort to the upscale lavish Point. And another step toward making that a reality, a groundbreaking ceremony last evening. The multi-million-dollar resort development brings high-end residential accommodations, restaurants, entertainment, retail stores, luxury and sporting activities to the downtown area. And Jimanita Swain tells us tonight that during the ceremony, the nation's chief pointed to specifics about job creation.
Come 2017, the nightlife in the downtown area will be noticeably different now that ground has been broken for the new luxury entertainment hotel and oceanfront residences called The Point. The price tag of the investment, $250 million. The undertaking should serve as a local hub for culture, shopping, and fine dining. China Construction America, a leading construction and real estate service provider, is the developer. More than 200 construction jobs and 500 permanent jobs are expected to be created. Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie shared this news about those jobs.
The government of the Bahamas has had acceptance on the part of the contractors that this must be a Bahamian-dominated construction site. I'm really comforted by the fact that in the coming days and the coming weeks, this site will be populated by young Bahamians, many of whom are not working today, and that the contractor who will be responsible for the works, and Mr. Moscow, I see you in the audience, I don't know if it's you, but if it is you, I hope you hear what I'm saying, will have those young Bahamians populate this site, and I will pass by daily to see it and to be proud of what is taking place here.
9 months ago, CCA purchased the British colonial Hilton Hotel and the adjoining 6.1 acres of land. Company chairman Ning Yuan said this will be their first hotel and development acquisition in the Caribbean.
The Point represents another substantial milestone for us in that, different from our other project in the Bahamas, CCA will be the sole investor, developer, and general contractor for The Point. This will allow us to directly translate our commitment and vision for this entertainment destination to the Bahamian people. It will also ensure that The Point is completed on time and accordingly to the highest standards.
President of The Point, Daniel Liu, said amenities include a bowling alley, movie theater, meeting spaces, office suites, and a 1,000-car parking garage. Liu explained that The Point is expected to change the face of Bay Street.
The Point will lead the way as the first important step towards the redevelopment of downtown Nassau into a thriving epicenter of culture, commerce, and recreation for visitors and local alike. Our goal is for this property to be used by tourists and Bahamians alike, all enjoying the many activities, shows, restaurants, and live performances.
Now that ground has been broken at The Point, officials expect that it will come alive by 2017. Jimanita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson is expressing confidence in the Bahamian courts to supervise the completion of the multi-billion-dollar Barmar project if ongoing talks between the government and Barmar officials fail. She noted that there's a possibility that the matter could be resolved in the Bahamian courts, which would include staving off creditors and restructuring the resort without the involvement of the Barmar developer.
The independent court in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, an independent and competent judiciary that has stood the test of time and in whom investors are confident, which is why they are investing in the Bahamas. They know that their disputes can be resolved in an independent court. That same independent court can appoint a provisional liquidator who can engage a contractor, the general contractor, to finish the 3%. The general contractor has said it will take 12 weeks to finish the construction.
Now, the Attorney General noted that every effort is being made to protect the interests of the Bahamian people while ensuring that the Barmar Resort is completed, opened, and in full operation as soon as possible.
What they want is for the project to be remobilized so that the bank, who is now calling for them to repay their loans, can understand that now that the project is remobilized and revenue is coming in to their enterprise, the bank will work with them so that they can now breathe a little easier.
Leader of opposition business in the Senate, Senator Carl Bethel, has urged Prime Minister Perry Christie to moderate the remarks of his ministers regarding the Barmar stalemate, and in particular remarks by ministers regarding Barmar Principal Sarkis Ismerlian. Senator Bethel, while speaking in the upper chamber of the House of Assembly, added that Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie should deal with ministers who speak out of turn. Now, Bethel's comments come after Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell suggested that Ismerlian's permanent residency status could be revoked, and Labor Minister Shane Gibson called for psychiatric evaluations for potential investors. Now, Bethel says the government should not have gotten involved following Barmar's Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing.
Pull back, let's say, the aggressive or hostile or partly hostile interventions. Become the honest broker in the interests of the Bahamian people. That is what I call for. Because at the end of the day, nothing we do in this place or in that place can prevent the deluge that will fall on this country if it is perceived that the legal system can be used by the government in a hostile manner against investors.
Leader of government business in the Senate, Alison Maynard Gibson, defended the government, adding that Prime Minister Perry Christie's integrity has never been impeached. She says there's no question that his sole interest is to see Barmar opened, and says the country must be very careful about allowing Bahamian institutions to be undermined by nationals or non-nationals. Maynard Gibson says the government hopes to see Barmar completed by agreement.
In relation to the matter, the Bahama matter about which the honorable leader on the other side spoke, the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Right Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie, has spoken on many occasions about the day that he was by the Hobby Horse Hall track out west with Sarkis, Dikran Ismerlian, and together they spoke about the wonderful project, significant touristic enterprise that they would put, that would be brought to bear in the ground right on Cable Beach Strip. And that is what the Prime Minister wishes to see brought to bear on behalf of the Bahamian people. No more, no less.
In other news from the Senate, the Foreign Accounts Tax Compliance Act, or FATCA, and the Traveler's Currency Declaration Bill passed in the Senate this afternoon following a debate which began in the morning session. Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Senator the Honorable Allison Maynard Gibson, said the global financial compliance effort by the U.S. is to protect against tax evasion, and fraud. The objective is to target non-compliance by U.S. taxpayers with foreign accounts and assets. With the Traveler's Currency Declaration Bill, travelers will be required to declare when they're bringing money of more than $10,000 into the country.
If we intend to grow our sector for the benefit of Bahamians, the Bahamas and the Bahamian people, we have to recognize that we are participants in a world financial sector, and we do everything that we can to protect the integrity of the world financial sector. And in a nutshell, that is what this bill is all about, to enable Bahamians to continue to benefit from financial services, for financial services to grow, to benefit our people.
Now, Maynard Gibson says the implementation of the two bills is an effort to ensure the Bahamas is not used as a center for money laundering and financing of terrorism. Senator Michael Pintard supported the bill, noting that the Bahamas has helped other countries set up their own compliance regimes. He says regulatory organizations must be fair in assessments of jurisdictions and not single out small island states when the countries that pose regulations are found wanting. He urged the government to be cautious.
In setting up the agency that we are now in the process of doing, we are merely serving as a conduit through which information would come from financial institutions and go to the U.S. We run the reputational risk that if that information is not accurate, while those financial services organizations are going to feel the brunt of the U.S. law, the Bahamas as a jurisdiction itself is going to suffer.
Well, still ahead tonight, we'll tell you why this man appeared in court today. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Letty, designed for extra miles.